each of you say from your specific presentation is the most important thing that attendees should leave today with? And we're going to start again with the President of Shareholder Value Advisors, Stephen O'Byrne.
Okay, thank you. I would say the key takeaways are that the historical shift in executive pay from value sharing plans to competitive position targets has created two critical problems. It undermines the alignment of cumulative pay and cumulative performance, and it's led to widespread reliance on poor measures of executive pay, particularly percent of pay at risk as a measure of incentive strength. And companies really need to move to direct analysis of relative pay versus relative performance and use that to drive their pay design. And when you step back and look at the big picture, even though most companies think they're doing a great job, the objective data really suggests that there's enormous room for improvement, and at most 20% of companies are actually doing a good job aligning relative pay and relative performance and keeping their pay premium at industry average performance to a reasonable level.
Next up, from Compensation Advisory Partners, he's a founding partner, Dan Ladden.
Yeah, I think the key takeaway from the conversation today for me is don't be shy about using non-traditional metrics, and that includes non-financial metrics. If you look at Todd's data from their 250, if you look at our data, it's still the minority practice, but it can make a lot of sense to be a very powerful incentive tool to really focus on non-traditional metrics. Thanks.
Next up, Principal at FW Cook, Todd Krauser.
Thanks, David. I think my key takeaway here is flexibility is the key with your long-term incentive plans. Environment's going through a lot of changes, business strategy, a variety of issues. So try and focus on being adaptive to change, focus on flexibility in your incentive designs. There are a variety of designs and performance metrics and mechanics that can provide the company with some flexibility to be a little bit more fluid through some difficult, challenging times. And that might require some out-of-the-box thinking. And if it's supported by business strategy and a compensation philosophy for aligning with shareholders, it can be a very compelling story to the participants and to the external community.
And the final word goes to Hugeson Consulting Partner, Scott Munn.
Thanks, David. I think I would make 3 quick points. The first is shareholder engagement is a solid tested tool. You may find that the institutional investors are more familiar with it than the specific company that you work with, and so they may have some good ideas as to how best to proceed. It is very fact-specific and nuanced, so you do need to think through the best approach going forward. The second point would be when you receive a recommend against from a proxy advisor, don't let them get the last word in. It helps to be prepared, but do be ready to go on the offensive and to defend your rationale. And then the third point I'd make would be that if you want to do something a bit different, something a little atypical that aligns well with your business, be confident, be thoughtful about it, but also plan how you're going to communicate that to shareholders.